You have a good night camera. It's interesting.
How old were you when you created your first social media account, and what was it?
Oh goodness, I'd say I was probably like 13. I was just in like the teenage years, and I had Facebook because everyone had a Facebook, so I had to have one too.
I think I was probably 15 or 16 when I first made my account, and that was on Facebook.
My first social media account would have been Instagram. It was 6th or 7th grade.
What other social media accounts do you have?
I have an Instagram, a Snapchat, Facebook.
Besides Facebook, the Snapchat account technically, and also LinkedIn.
I have a Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and the Whisper app.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn.
I don't really have any at the moment, except for LinkedIn.
How often do you post on those platforms?
I don't post a whole lot, but with my job, it's kind of important to stick with customers. I do a lot of advertising on Facebook and LinkedIn as well.
Not particularly often, mostly just for special occasions.
I post on Instagram almost every day, probably it's weekly. Facebook, it's weekly, and Twitter every other day. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
Really not that often. I just don't really like posting much stuff.
Snapchat, it could be anywhere from like daily to weekly. Instagram, it just kind of depends what I'm doing. Like if I'm having like a really good week, it might be like once or twice a week, or otherwise it might be just once or twice a month.
Instagram, it's only when I have like really good like noteworthy pictures, so it's not very often. Facebook, pretty much every day. If I just find something funny, I post it. And then Whisper, just when I need to vent.
None of the time.
Do you feel that maintaining your social media is important?
No, I maintain my Facebook strictly for relatives because my family, like my grandma and my grandparents use Facebook and they like to see what I'm doing, and I don't see them a lot because of college. And then Instagram, I use it as a memory scrapbook. Like, I don't post a lot of selfies, it's a bunch of group activities, and it's bad that I rely on images for memory.
I guess it depends on what kind of job you have. For my job, not necessarily.
Somewhat. I mostly use it just to keep in touch with close friends, but otherwise it's not a particularly big deal.
Yes.
I think yes, because it does help share things with people that you can't always text or call right away. And it also depends on like the industry you're in, because some industries social media is really important.
I think him.
Ask him about Jared Leto's hair.
What do you think about Jared Leto's hair?
Did you know about? Wait, why do you ask that?
Because we're looking at your Facebook in this van right here.
That's not creepy at all.
You gonna go? Do you consider yourself like a private person?
Yeah, I think so.
She's an actress.
Like if you get like a part on like Grey's Anatomy or something, would you share that?
How did you know?
Surprise!
Post about that on your Facebook?
Sideburns? Is that a beard?
Study genetic diversity.
So what do you say, like genetic diversity?
Yes, that's actually exactly what I said.
Interesting.
That's a good guess.
Well, you're in a bunch of bands.
He's a guitarist in Planeswalker.
So like when Planeswalker plays shows, you want to bring out your other friends to see
Surprise!
His face.
Wait a second. What? Wait a second. What?
What about your boy, like Andy? He posts too much?
These guys are enjoying this way too much.
So you
What?
don't like going back to Alexandria, Virginia?
What the No, this is really weird. This is weird. This is weird. You guys are weird.
Amazing.
What the No, this is really weird. This is weird. This is weird. You guys are weird.
Amazing.
I mean, it's
It
true.
totally creeps me out.
Say hello to everybody.
That's terrifying. Thank you.
I completely agree!
Yeah.
No, you knew that. Is that
Whatever. I mean, I can already tell what people know what I have out there, but I'm okay with it.
I'm very private.
Really? I try to be private, and that still doesn't work for me.
Okay, so after watching the video, what did you all think of it?
Very creepy.
I guess that's one way to put it.
I thought it was funny. It's like stuff that
It was funny.
It would have been less creepy if they had been more serious about it, but they seem to be enjoying getting into people's private information a little too much.
I've noticed it was, these people who got interviewed seemed a little bit like, on edge, like, who are these people asking me these questions? I'm like, why am I on Facebook or something like that? It's like, oh, hey, I have a TV crew looking at your Facebook right now. Are you enjoying this? It's kind of weird.
And what part of the video stood out to you the most, or like what concept of it?
People are just so shocked.
They were so shocked.
They're
yeah.
so surprised. It's like, duh. Like, I think about that right in a post.
Honestly, when they were like, did you post a picture of this food on your Facebook? That's just so specific. That would get to me.
Or if they were starting naming people that you knew personally, and you're like, how do you know who these people are? Like,
right, I can see that. Well, I mean, it's also, because we don't really think it's such a big deal when we post on like Facebook, and all of a sudden, somebody comes up and goes, hey, I learned you like Taylor Swift, I like her too. It's not creepy like that.
Yeah.
Their reactions too. They're just
yeah.
out.
Yeah, we saw a good range of people that took it pretty chill, and some
people are like, I shouldn't be here anymore.
Yeah, I don't feel safe anymore.
Yeah.
Am I gonna be abducted by this van too?
Okay, I think we're crossing the line right here. We didn't bring it back in.
So if it's this easy for like an average person to search and find info about you on your social media, how would you feel about a digital analyst or someone HR searching for it? Because they have more advantages than the average person.
Sure.
Well, I've already thought about that. Like, I know the career that I want to go into, it's really important, like, how the public will view me and what my, look is when you, if you Googled me or something, it all needs to be positive.
Good thing I don't post that.
Have you all ever done a self-search before?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Sometimes people make social media accounts for you.
I hate you.
And so information or pictures that you might be less interested in.
Information! Pictures! Let me just tell you next time I get a Twitter of your ass on there. How many followers you get.
Well, look, let's just say that I wish I was that popular.
I'm not that popular. My ass is more popular than me.
That's a good thing.
No, it's not.
Another thing, on Instagram, I have all my stuff on private, and I'm not kidding you, I probably decline 20 people a day. And then some of them have bios in a different language, and no offense, I'm just like, you do have no idea, me, you don't know me at all. Why do you want to follow people? And so I just decline them.
I'm just gonna basically just share a couple facts about just hiring and social media, because there's a lot of interesting stuff out there. I find it interesting, but the number of hiring managers using social media to investigate job candidates has grown immensely over the past 10 years. 84% of employers use social media just last year to recruit job candidates, up from 56% in 2011.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I can see that. Also, I can see why a lot of people don't have jobs, because they're posting to Facebook. Oh, look, I'm smoking kush.
I think we should all have the mindset before posting that we know that people can look it up, anybody can look it up, and that job employers do look at it. I mean, when we're in college and that's all professors tell you, or just anybody in general that you come in contact with, you're supposed to be mindful of what you're putting out there.
It makes sense though, because when you go to an interview, if you know that you're walking into an interview, you're going to put on a much different face for your potential employer. Whereas when you're on Facebook, you feel so safe, even though it's not anonymous, and a lot of people have access to it. It just feels like you have this level of comfort where you can say whatever it is that you're thinking or feeling. And so an employer that wants to know if you're a reliable, person to hire, then they're going to get a lot more information about you than they would in just an interview.
It also sort of, you think about it, if all the pictures you had posted on in the past, now you just sort of think of oh wait, I posted that, or someone posted that about me, and they still they hired me or they didn't hire me, you just, oh, that's the reason why. Yeah.
Top types of posts that left employers with bad impressions include provocative or inappropriate photographs, videos of other information, information about a candidate drinking or using drugs, discriminatory comments related to race, religion, gender, etc., bad-mouthing of a previous company or employee, and poor communication skills.
Good. I think there's something missing with a lot of those posts.
That was a nice snack.
It was, thank you, I was practicing. It's just, common sense.
With all stuff you can either keep it to yourself or tell your best friend or something, but don't post it anywhere. And if you really need to say it,
Right.
Yeah. There's just some things you can't post on there.
Yeah, if you're not gonna be like, I guess, respectful to like yourself or like even the people around you, like how are you gonna be respectful in like a workplace? Without complete strangers and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta be mindful of what you post to your friends and colleagues and whatnot.
Right.
I think it's funny too, because I mean, a lot of it they are like, watch what you're putting on social media, and they're thinking of content. You also have to think of what you're typing, like is it spelled right? I mean, grammar and just
Yeah, and it feels like some people, it seems like they post things on social media expecting actually no one to read it. Like, why else are you on social media in the first place? The whole point is that there are going to be people looking at this stuff, so it doesn't really make sense to put things that you wouldn't want someone to see.
Like, I've definitely seen stuff that like may not even have a person's name in it, but I know exactly who they're talking about, and I'm like,
awkward.
I don't know. Yeah, it is really awkward. It's kind of like, okay, like if that someone else might see that and not know who it is, but they still know what you're saying.
Yeah. More than 40% of hiring managers surveyed said that they are less likely to interview job candidates if they are unable to find information about a person online.
Say it again.
That I didn't know. That's actually really interesting.
See, that's why I have a LinkedIn account, because I originally got rid of my Facebook, but I figured that having no media presence would be necessarily a bad idea because, like you said, like people are going to look online for something, and if you don't find anything, then it kind of shows that you aren't even sociable, I guess, on a,
It makes sense because I think it's kind of like one of those things. If you don't have one, then you don't really know how people are going to be. Like, they might be good, they might be bad. So what happens if they happen to get a social media during the time they're working for you? Where it's like, if you already have established a good one, and I just think credit. Like, I'm thinking credit. Like, it's just like credit. Like, it's better to have, like, good or no credit. Like,
your personality over time, see how much it changes, see how much it's
right.
consistent.
Like,
how
if you're
you
growing
are
as a person,
type A, B,
then just like
organized, not organized.
Yeah, like so many people have social media now that it's almost like if you don't, it's kind of like
background check.
Yeah, it's like a background check.
The less stuff you post on there, the less information the employers have to go off to understand your candidate.
I think a good way to put it is I was at a meeting with some VPs of the last company I worked with, and one of them actually approached me and we were talking about, the hiring process at the company, and he was saying that he would rather hire someone with a 2.5 GPA and good communication skills than someone with a 4.0 GPA. Just because, and obviously he's making assumptions about what someone with a 4.0, acts like, but I think the point is, I'd rather have someone who's a little bit less smart but knows how to communicate their ideas in a professional manner, as opposed to someone who might be the smartest person in the world, an absolute genius, but can't say anything.
More than 30% of employers use social media networks to research current employees. Of those employers, more than 25% have found content that resulted in reprimanding or firing an employee.
Well, that's awkward because you obviously know that your job can be taken away at any moment. Like that's
correct.
Yeah. You might need to hide your ass.
Pants not good enough.
Yeah.
Hey, there are a lot of Andys in the world.
Yeah, it could be anyone's ass.
But there's not a lot of Andy's ass. Well, actually, never mind.
I'm glad someone's on my side.
Yeah.
I think people get stuck in that thing where it's like, oh, I already have the job, I'm fine. They're not going to fire me now, like that's too much work.
to rehire.
But at the same time, it's like, this is their company. Like, if it's a small company, especially, like, if you're looking, like, at the CEO and they only have, like, 10 employees, those 10 employees are everything. So it's like, if one of those 10, like, that's 10% of your company that's, like, looking at you in a bad way, and that's being put out in the public, so then all their friends are going to think the same thing. So, like, it's sad that almost that, like, people are saying that, but I would rather have great employees and keep rehiring people than have, like, those one or two bad ones.
That make you look bad.
Right.
Surface.
Because, like, that's what people remember is, like, the bad stuff.
And also not looking up someone, like, not doing, like, a background check. That's, not doing that would be stupidity on their end, too. Like, I think it's a good tool.
Even if you have a job, it doesn't mean that you're just can go carefree with your social media account. You have to still kind of be, mindful what you post. Just because you made it to the job you wanted doesn't mean you can throw it away.
Yeah,
So-
like, would you, when you're posting something, it's kind of weird, but you gotta be like, would I want my boss to see this?
Right, yeah. You'd be a little more mindful about what you post.
Right.
Or you just look at it, it's like, there's some people out there who just don't care. They don't see it that big of a deal. I mean, I sort of have the idea, it's like, if I have my social media account open, what would my parents think about it? It's like, oh, hey,
Right.
Andy, look at this. Oh, what? So you just gotta be a little bit mindful because you don't know who's around, or you just don't know,
Or how the word's gonna spread,
Exactly. Or my butt, for that.
Yeah.
Social media is a bad thing and a good thing for multiple different reasons, and you have to handle it the most effectively. And
You just have to think
you
about
have to
it.
think. You can't just post something in anger. You can't just post something because you're crying and it was the worst day of your life.
Don't be
Experience.
stupid.
Yeah.
Post smart.
Post smart.
That's a sort of very generalized statement, right?
Short, sweet, and to the point.
Like if it's on Instagram, it could honestly I could pick the picture, and if I'm gonna put a caption, it might take me an hour by the time I figure out exactly what I want to say and how I want to say it. And I think that's important because some people will just all of a sudden say something, and then an hour later, after someone's already screenshotted it, it's already been emailed to somebody, and that's when they're like, oh no, I shouldn't have done that. So I think even just waiting, wait 20 minutes before you post something that you're even slightly concerned about,
That is,
or wait till the next day or something. And I think 20 minutes could save a lot of those statistics where people were fired or something.